Welcome to your math lesson for Friday, March 27th. Today we're talking about unit price. So the procedure to find unit price is exactly the same as you did yesterday for unit rate. It's the exact same thing, just termed differently because when you're talking about unit price, you're only talking about the cost of something. So a unit price is the same as unit rate, but it is specifically for cost. So you're only dealing with money today. You find the unit price by dividing the number of items into the total cost. So you're going to do a lot of division today because you're going to need to find out the unit price of something. And so if you have, in this case, 4 liters of milk for $3.68, how much would 1 liter be? So you're going to have to divide. And so it can be written both ways. In your worksheets today, it'll be both ways. It'll say either 4 liters of milk for $3.68, so you take your 4 and you divide it into your $3.68, or it could be written this way as well. $3.99 for 6 cans of pop. So you take your 6 cans of pop and you divide it into your $3.99. Keep in mind, you can remember it this way. If it has a dollar sign, that's the thing that is going to be divided. So there are some examples today that you may want to use a calculator for. That's okay. But when you're dealing with lower whole numbers, you should be able to do this as an outside calculation. So if I take my 4 and I divide it into $3.68, take my 4, 3.68. You do not need to put the dollar sign, it's fine. So 4 cannot go into 3. 3 is too small. So I need to move past the decimal, so I'm going to put a 0 and a decimal. And now I can do 4 into 36. And if you look down your 4s till you get to 36, and then look over to the side, you'll see that 4 goes into 36 9 times. And that, of course, gets me 36. It goes exactly. 0 left over, and I drop my 8. 4 goes into 8. If you don't know off the top of your head, you look down your 8s until you look down your 4s until you get to 8, and then look to the side. Use your multiplication chart. That's what it's for. So 4 can go into 8 2 times. 8, 0 left over. So it's 92 cents for 1 liter. So you would write equals 0.92 with your dollar sign per liter. Just like we did with unit rate yesterday. So you're going to use your slash, your per. You're going to have the amount of money per whatever unit you're dividing into your total cost. So let's do the next one. Now this one is $3.99 for 6 cans of pop. So I have to take my 6 and divide it into my total cost. So again, you can do an outside calculation where you take your 6 and you divide it. So 6 could go into 3? No. So I have 0 decimal. 6 can go into 39? Yes. So you look down your 6s till you get to the closest thing to 39 without going over. 6 can't go into 39 evenly. So you look down your 6s until you get to 36. And then you look over to the side and you'll find out what the answer is that goes on top, 6. 6 times 6 is 36. That's the closest thing that you're going to get to 39. And you have 3 left over. You drop your 9. Now you're going to do 6 into 39 again. Well, you just did that. So you know that the answer is 6, which is going to be 36 again. 3 left over. Drop a 0. 6 into 30 Look down your sixes, it goes evenly. 6 can go into 30 5 times. So you can find the 30, and then you look over to the side and it'll have a 5. And there's my 0, and I'm done. Now, you're dealing with money. You're dealing with dollars and cents. So you may need to do some rounding today, and this is a good example of us going to be rounding. So it's 66.5 cents, or if you look at it this way, you've got your 5, and you need to round because you can only have 2 spaces after the decimal when you're dealing with money. So when you get to your equal sign over here, you put 0.6, so 60, and then the next number, this is where you're going to round. So you have to remember how to round. What's the rounding rule? Rounding rule is 5 or higher, you round up. So I take that 5, I look at the 6, and I think, is 5 big enough to change the 6 into a 7? Yes. 5 or higher, the number changes. 4 or lower, the number stays the same. So remember the rounding rule, you're going to have to round a lot in your work today. So 5 is big enough to change that 6 into a 7. So it's really 67 cents per can. Something you're going to need to think about today when you're doing your math is kind of how money works. You don't want to just look at these as just numbers. You want to think logically about the fact that this is money that you're dealing with. So you need to have dollars and cents. Don't forget that your cents, you should have 2 after the decimal, right? Your 10 cents and your 1 cent. And then, of course, your dollars start on the other side of the decimal. If you have any questions about the work that you're supposed to do today, of course, get in touch with me. Just send me a message. Send me a screenshot of whatever question it is that you're having trouble with. Don't forget to include the page or whatever so that I know where you're at. And also don't forget, if you need extra paper or another notebook or a new multiplication chart or pencils or whatever, get in touch because I can drop those off.